It's Nora Cooks versus the Edgy Veg in a brunch time battle of the ages. Two top quality, highly rated 5-star vegan French toast recipes from two fantastic vegan creators. Although they both have the same destination, the route to get there couldn't be more different. The Edgy Veg uses firm tofu and adds some serious flavours such as nutritional yeast and Kala Namak black salt to maximise the egginess. While Nora Cooks whisks her batter using flax seeds as the egg and thickens it up with cornstarch. Afterwards, I'll try to combine them into a best of both worlds version. But for now, let's introduce the judge. Me. Usually my wife would be here to be the taste tester, but she's not available at the moment because she's off doing some great charity work with a lovely animal rescue. So I'm going to have to fill in. And I say we start straight away because I'm hungry. Okay, let's get into it with the Edgy Veg. It's a tiny bit more effort, but it's still very easy and straightforward. So we'll start by melting some vegan butter. Just move it around, lowish heat. It doesn't take that long. You'll be done before you know it. And everything after this is going to go into our tiny micro food processor. She's going to go in with coconut sugar to add some natural sweetness to the batter here. And both recipes call for vanilla extract, but I just couldn't find it, so I had to use vanilla paste. But you can substitute that 1 for 1, and I'll just throw a little bit extra in there because some of it got stuck in the spoon. I mentioned this in the jazzy intro, but she also uses nutritional yeast here and Kala Namak black salt. And if you don't know what black salt is, or if you've never had it before, you're in for a surprise. It absolutely reeks of sulfur, and not in a bad way. It's incredibly eggy flavored. We used it before on this channel when we made tofu scramble. It's very interesting stuff. Finish that off with the melted butter and then blend it all up. If you're new to this channel, let me introduce you to my €15 food processor. It's actually way better than what it costs, but it still only costs €15, so it's never going to be able to compete with something more powerful. So I quite often can't get the smoothness required for these recipes. But if it's slightly bitty, then we'll never dock any marks due to my lower quality tools. Also, the reason why I bought such a cheap blender was because I thought I'd never actually use it, but it seems to show up in every single video I do, and I have no idea why or how that happens, but it just does. Okay, cool, that's all done. It looks really nice. Nice and airy, nice and fluffy. I'm interested in this one. Scrape this into a bowl. It's important to get all of it out there as well, because too many cooking videos go through the motions and get like 2 or 3 tablespoons out and call it a day. I like to get it all out. Unite with me against food waste. The Edgy Veg doesn't specify what type of bread to use, so I just got the thickest cut sliced stuff I could find, and this is an interesting texture. It's very, very thick. I love how simple these recipes are. So this gets cooked in vegan butter, medium heat, cook it for a few minutes each side until it's absolutely golden and beautiful, and that's it. I'm serving 2 slices with the recommended toppings, which as you can see is just a load of fruit on the side because it looks nice and pretty, but will have absolutely no effect on the final taste. I'm also going to sprinkle on some icing sugar and as much maple syrup as you like, which for me is a lot. And she says to finish it off with some vegan whipped cream. Now I had 2 options here. One of them was buying a tiny carton of vegan cream, which I had to whip myself and then use a piping bag, which I don't even own. Or this vegan spray cream, and I obviously went for this one because it's way more fun. And this looks beautiful, golden delicious. If this was a looks contest, it's a 10 out of 10. But this battle is just starting to heat up because here comes Nora Cook's method for making vegan French toast. And somehow her recipe is even simpler. You start with the bowl, then add in all of your ingredients, and I don't think it matters which order it goes in because they're all going to get whisked together anyway. The flax seeds and the cornstarch are going to do a lot of heavy lifting here to create that egg effect. She's also going to throw in loads of cinnamons, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and instead of using coconut sugar, she's using maple syrup. So if you combine that with a drizzle of maple syrup later on, you get double maple syrup. I'll also throw a little bit of extra vanilla there to compensate for what got stuck to the spoon. And you gotta whisk this. And also, give it a little whisk in between each slice of bread as well. That cornstarch has a tendency to drop to the bottom and turn into a kind of glue. But as long as you incorporate it each time, you're grand. And I'm using the same bread for 2 reasons. 1, I don't want to buy any more bread. And 2, that's it. In the written recipe, Nora actually says that she uses chia batter, but if you watch the video that accompanies it, it kind of looks a bit more like this stuff. Also, it'll give me a fairer baseline to the flavor of the batter, which is what we're testing today. And that goes in the pan. She says you can use vegan butter or coconut oil, and to remove as many variables as possible, I'm going to go with vegan butter again, even though I do actually have a jar of coconut oil looking at me, longing for it, yearning to be cooked in. Next time, coconut oil. Next time. Give that a flip, and it's a darker colour, probably from the cinnamon. And on another slice I could also see some flaxseed, but I couldn't taste it and I forgot to mention. Just something to be aware of though. Now it's time to top this bad boy. Fortunately, Nora suggests the exact same toppings, which is icing sugar, a drizzle of maple syrup, and she actually doesn't recommend cream, but I gotta use the spray can again. I just love it so much. But again, with all the unnecessary set dressing, this French toast looks outstanding. But how do they both taste? Let's hand it over to your humble yet dashing host, me. So the first one I'm going to do is Nora Cooks, and it looks amazing. You know what I mean? Like when I was pouring over that maple syrup, I was nom 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 nom. That's superb. Like the cinnamon kicks you in the face. The outside, the crust has really crispened up. So you get this kind of nice caramelized, almost crunchy bite on the outside, followed by just air. It's beautiful. Quite sweet, a little bit sweet. I'm going to taste the bottom one because it's kind of avoided the toppings, I suppose. So it might give me a more accurate representation of what it tastes like without any stuff on top. It's been years since I've had animal-based French toast. Like years and years and years. And I have never had vegan French toast. If I bought this in a restaurant, I'd question them. It's so good. It's exactly the same as I remember it. So easy to make as well. Like really, really easy. Like seconds to make that batter. A couple of minutes to cook it. I'm going to eat so much French toast. Okay, now I'm going to try the vegan French toast from the Edgy Veg. It's a slightly better color actually. A different color, better color. This is more golden looking. The batter itself was a lot thicker as well. So good. Really, really good. Very tasty, nice and sweet still. It's a bit savory actually. The black salt is the wild card here. You can really taste it and it might be a bit too much. Like it is very eggy, but it's kind of like, it's a bit hard boiled egg flavored rather than egg. Not that I want my toast to taste like egg, but you know, it's a more even texture. The crusts aren't as crispy. The inside is probably less fluffy and light than this one. The Edgy Veg one feels a bit of a heavier meal with the tofu. Now I'm going to try the bottom one because it's got less toppings on it. I can taste the nutritional yeast now without the toppings. Yeah, it starts off sweet and then the aftertaste gets more and more savory as you go. It's like sweet, 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 savory, 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 savory. When I make my best of both worlds, I really want the crispy crust from Nora Cooks. That's a must. You have to have that crispy crust. This one is fluffy in its own different way. I really like the idea of having the cinnamon in there as well. I feel like the cinnamon makes it feel more like French toast to me. And the maple syrup. I like the flavors of this one. I really appreciate what the Edgy Veg has done here. She's really tried to get that eggy flavor and she's probably gone a little bit too far, but I do like the thick batter. The thick batter that she made with the tofu was a cool idea and I'd like to experiment with that. But yeah, both really, really top quality. Very happy I had them. I'm going to have a lot more of them because I kind of have to. This one makes 8 slices of bread. This one also makes 8 slices of bread. There's just one of me and I've got to do a best of both worlds. So you're talking like 24 slices of French toast for me over the next couple of days, which is actually it's a pretty good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I'm just about to attempt the best of both worlds, but now would be an excellent time to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. It would really, really help us out. Thank you. For my best of both worlds, I'm going with the tofu, but I'm changing it up. I'm going with silken tofu instead of firm. Both recipes use soy milk, so I'll be using that. Gotta go with the maple syrup over coconut sugar for the sweetener. They both use vanilla as well, so that's a no-brainer. And the cinnamon works for me, but I'm going to use less. I don't want it to kick me, just like a gentle footing. And I think Nora Cook's secret ingredient might have been the baking powder. It would give the whole thing some rise, create some tiny little bubbles, and it might have contributed to that crust I'm looking for. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that you do need a little savory. So I'm going to add in some nutritional yeast, but I'm not using any black salt. And every single one of these ingredients is going to go straight into the blender. And as I make this, I just want to give you a reminder that links to the full recipes are in the description. Also, you might have noticed that I withhold the exact recipe for the original creators because I encourage you to go to their websites and give them a click. They deserve it. I'm hoping the silken tofu will give me a thickish but slightly creamier batter and then just whiz this all up until it's nice and smooth and bubbly. Look at that, that's bubbly. Scrape that into a bowl and then we'll dip in our bread, which is the exact same loaf as before. Also, I'm going to cook in vegan butter as well, and we'll go with the exact same toppings and set decoration because I'm kind of lazy that way. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it looks pretty good, but how does it taste? Have I made an absolute monstrosity? Is this bread coated in flavorless mush? Or have I succeeded and truly made the best of both worlds? Let's give it a go for the final taste test. I was never a big fan of those like celebrity chefs who eat their own food and go like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, wow, this is an orgasm on a plate. But it's not that far. It's not that good, but it's really good. It is nice. Like I do like it. The edges feel like fried and toasted at the same time. That kind of almost crispy, crunchy, crusty feeling. It tastes great. Really nice. I think silken tofu is the way to go with this, by the way. Whatever recipe you use in the future, I think silken tofu should be seriously considered. You know, it's an overall more subtle flavor in general. Nothing is too powerful. If you like a lot of cinnamon, you can always sprinkle some more on top. The nutritional yeast is there, but it's just subtle enough to give it that kind of complexity and depth without overpowering it with savoriness. Yeah, it's a very balanced flavor. The ultimate brunch. I think I have successfully created the best of both worlds here. But I couldn't have done it without the original inspiration. Those two recipes are really, really top quality, like really top class stuff. If you've never had vegan French toast before, I thoroughly recommend any one of these 3 recipes. They're all fantastic. So while I tempt you here with more of our delicious videos, I just want to say thank you for watching and I appreciate it.